We're going to have a panel here today called Across the Great Divide, and I'm actually going to read what it says here because it's a lot of information. As traditional record labels dissolve and artist revenue streams get tighter with each passing day, an understatement, a competent manager is more relevant than ever. Skillfully negotiating the twists and turns of a band's day-to-day existence demands a fine-tuned skill set. So we're going to start out by introducing the panel members today. Let's see here. Our moderator is Robbie Lloyd here in the middle from Silva Artist Management. On the far side, we have Larry Little from Future Sounds. Next to him, Kristen Worden-Harris from Croshal Entertainment. On this side is Wayne Green from Everloving Management, handles Jack Johnson, etc. And all the way over on the side is Steve Nice from Nice Management. Nice Management. Well, I guess this panel discusses management, obviously, and the different things that they're looking for and the different things that you guys are going to be looking for. So let me start out with Robbie. When you want to approach an artist or consider an artist, what do you look for?
Well, I think, we look for like a good sense of direction of where the band's headed, and they also have just a good sense of what they want to do. Do they have a good touring sense? Do they want to get out on the road? Do they want to work, right? Do they have a good sense of style in terms of what their aesthetic is? It also just has to fit too. I know John, we won't bring anything in unless we all, our company as a whole, likes it and loves it, because that's where it starts, right? Because there's times when you're like 11 hours deep in a day and there's something you got to get done, or it's last minute and you want to have to kill for your band. So the band's going to have to kill too, right? They're going to have to work hard, and again, if we don't love it, I think, we're very blessed, I think, at our management company, is that we love everything we work with.
It's a nice place to be. Let me ask the same question to Mr. Steve Nice here.
Yeah, I'm just going to repeat what Robbie said. That's exactly it. Yeah, you have to love it. If you're not as invested in it as the artist is, then what's the point? It can be a very thankless job at times. So you have to be just in love with what you're doing, and want to kill for them as they should kill for what they're doing, So.
Let me ask across the board, when you look for an artist or you're prepared to take on new artists, do you look for a specific genre? Do you kind of have an idea of what you're looking for based maybe on the market, or are you just open to suggestions and say, hey, something neat came along, let's work with this?
Well, I think there's a couple of different answers to that. When you're a small company, when you start working with a young band, there's not a lot of money coming in the beginning, so you need to balance. You need to have something that maybe is making a little money, so maybe you have a diversified strategy. Artists are changing managers all the time. Artists are going from being self-managed to looking for a manager, and ideally, you'd love to find an artist that generates revenue so that you can afford to support other artists. When you're looking at new artists, I think it's something that, as everybody has said, you love and would work for 24 hours a day, but also somebody who's got a handle on their vision and what they're trying to do, and they have an idea about where they're going with it, so that you can feel confident in helping expand what they're doing. If a band is still fighting with each other, and this guy wants that, and this guy wants that, it's not really going to work.
Okay, let me ask one last question just across the board before I hand it over to Robbie. But at what level should an artist be before they approach management?
I think you should have somebody helping you from the beginning, because most artists don't really know the business at all, and that's not to say some new manager that's your friend would know the business necessarily, but I think you have to have some outside person hustling for you. That's in my opinion.
If you can find somebody that's willing to help you, I was just saying to these guys that it can be somebody in a record store, somebody in a radio station, somebody in a regular job, somebody in a restaurant. If somebody wants to help you, by God, let them help you, because you should go out and try to be an artist and let them try to help you do some of the other stuff.
Well, and exactly, and I think there's an old philosophy, and it's actually not in artist management. It's a great management book by the guy who runs a huge sports agency, represented was it Jack Nicholas, Arnold Palmer. He was like the first sports agency guy, right? And somebody was approaching him and saying, I want all this stuff from your client. I'm going to give your client, all his money to do stuff. And he goes, you know what? They need to focus on what makes them great, playing golf, right? a manager helps you, a good manager helps you focus on making great music, right? So that, and they do everything else. And you're part of that process, but your focus should be being a great artist, right? So the less you're able to do that is an issue and a problem. So, anything you want to add to that?
I mean, I agree with everything you say, but there is a balance too. You know, I think when you're looking to manage an artist, you're looking at work ethic. You know, are you guys out playing shows all the time? Are you guys, you know, on your MySpace, on Twitter? Are you doing, you know, all those things to engage with your fan base? And I think that's, you know, along with the music, there is that side of it that in the day and age we live in is important, and in this beginning stages, it falls on new artists. It really does. And to be honest, it doesn't really ever go away. You know, you always have that responsibility of interacting with your fans after a show, going to the merch booth, signing stuff, talking to them. I mean, like, it's so important. Fans want to feel like they know you, and I can't stress that enough. So that's just to add.
I want to add something on the flip side, though. Just a little bit of warning. The fanager can also really hurt a band's career early on. I deal with it a lot with people that just make really bad decisions for the band because they don't know what they're doing, and it burns bridges within the industry. You turn off a booking agent the wrong way, you never get a show with any of his bands ever again. There's a lot of little slight nuances that go on that a manager can really put a band back, or sign them to a 3-4 album deal on somebody that has nothing going for them. I mean,
Hey, I'm going to add that managers do that too.
Oh, yeah.
We all make those mistakes every day.
You gotta have a good lawyer too.
Well, actually,
Help you avoid that.
A little step back here is, of all, show of hands, who's, bands, artists, who wants to be a manager, I'm assuming? Okay, and is there else other? Any other?
I raised my hand too, Robbie. I raised my hand.
You raised your hand, yes.